It's our birthday. Our birthday.
We all won. Yeah. You can have those in there.
Yeah, okay. I will. Basically, what this video is going to be... What did that fly across the screen? You see that? Got flies and stuff in it. Basically, what we're going to do is watch my very first video that I recorded as New Dram Drinker. We're going to watch it kind of live now while you're watching us. Watch us.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. So it's going to be...
I can't wait, because I haven't watched it literally since you did it.
Yeah, we've not done one of these ones where we've
ever
watched ourselves back. And
it's going to be so funny.
If you know me, I hate watching myself back. I can finish editing a video. As soon as it's on YouTube, I just can't watch it again. I cannot stand to see myself on YouTube, on TV.
It's hearing yourself as well, isn't it? Because we
Especially
obviously we're Brummies.
Yeah, this accent's horrendous.
Yeah,
but some people seem to like it.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And there won't be graphics and pop-ups either, which I think will be really interesting.
A few, but not many.
Not many.
You've
evolved your style over the year.
I hope so. Well, I mean, there wasn't any pop-ups on this particular video because it was a live. Why I chose to do a live video as my very first one, I'll never know.
You probably didn't know any difference.
Yeah, so a little bit of backstory on it. I made the decision to do this channel kind of after a lot of pondering. And what did you think of it when I kind of came up with the idea?
I don't think I knew what you were on about, really. You just were like, I'm just going to start doing videos about whiskey. And I was like, okay, I don't really think I understood it. Well, I definitely didn't understand the whiskey community. Yeah. I didn't know what it entailed, how big it was. I didn't even... I just thought whiskey all tasted the same, and I didn't get any of that. So, and
I must have obviously got the idea from watching. Well, I know I did from watching other channels and things like that, seeing new channels starting up and thinking, I can probably do that. Not from my own angle, which was always going to be the New Dram Drinker, because that's exactly what I was. Nicola wasn't involved at the very start. It was, I think you were upstairs in the bedroom just staying out of the way because of how stressed I was about doing my first video. So, because it was stressful, trust me, it was, I didn't kind of pre-plan anything. It was just a video to kind of tell everybody what New Dram Drinker was going to be. So I'm interested to see if New Dram Drinker now is what I thought it was going to be 12 months ago.
And we genuinely haven't watched this in preparation for this video. We're going in cold.
Yeah, and I know that I did have a few people commenting on the video live as we were going, and I kind of wondered how people knew, considering it was my first video, how they knew that who we were or who I was. So I talked to Paul Gibbs, and he said that I'd kind of almost like blasted Instagram and Twitter with posts about coming soon and New Dram Drinker and all this and that, and he said I'd made him curious. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So we're going to play on our laptop here. It's going to come up on the screen for you to kind of watch us again, like I said, and you'll be able to follow along to a certain extent. So I'm dreading this, to be honest.
I think it's going to be really funny.
I'm dreading it, so I apologise now. Here we go. Oh yeah, it says I'm live, so I presume I'm live. I can see Prestige Liquids WW's in. Hi Andrew. I know you said you're driving, so you can't comment. So Andrew was in
first
from the start in the live. Andrew is a channel from Australia. If you don't know him, I suggest you go and follow him because he's doing great. He's doing really good. So he's obviously there from the start. So that was a bonus. A friend from the start. I can't believe we're actually here. It seems like such a long time coming that it seems surreal that we're doing it at last. You can put a face to the name that you've been popping up on your feeds for so long. I had a few questions come through in the... Oh, hang on. Jay Chung. How are you? Okay. Nice to meet you. Haven't seen your name, I don't think, in many of the other ones that I've been on, many of the chats I've been on. But it's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. I really do appreciate you giving me your time. Going back to what I was saying, I had a few questions come through on Twitter and Instagram just asking why I was doing this, and I'm going to stop that there because I think basically I'd had one question and it took you a long time to get around to answering that. And kind of like just kind of stretched it a little bit to make it seem like more people were interested.
When you
said
like the video was like probably an hour, I was thinking, really, you talked for an hour? Now I can see why you talked for an hour.
This one was half an hour. It was
the
one where we both did it.
Oh, was it?
I waffled on for half an hour this one. But
there's a lot of waffling.
I'm going to try and explain why I'm doing this and give you a little bit of a backstory into why. So let me begin. It goes back a long time when I was 18, and all I used to do was drink Jack Daniels with my dad, and that was all I ever thought whiskey was. It was kind of seeing Slash and Guns N' Roses playing. Well, he'd got a bottle of Jack Daniels and it seemed the coolest thing in the world, and that was what I thought you did. And I soon realised that there was more to whiskey than just that. And that all culminated really in a trip that I had with some distant friends. They were friends of someone else's of mine that we went away with. And we were in a bar and they were all talking about whiskey. And I was like, yeah, I'll drink.
Can I just say, like, your energy is so much better now. Like, it's like, how long is this story going to take?
Because I'm really surprised.
Your energy is so much better now.
I talk fast when I'm nervous, don't I? So why am I talking slow? Because I would imagine that.
Maybe you don't quite know what you were going to say. Maybe it was all like really uncomfortable.
I knew I was going to say this story, but I didn't know
how to do it.
How to say it, to get it across the best. So I thought if I talk,
if there's anybody still listening now, like I'd be like, wow.
I'm surprised I'm not saying like, and thank you to Cashmate for visiting and leaving so soon, Andrew. But I genuinely thought I'd be rabbiting on like really fast.
You'd never done it before, so that's why obviously if you've ever videoed yourself, there's always a lot of ums and ahs and
so I can't wait till we get to yours. Right, let's carry on.
I drink a nice Jack Daniels or a Jim Beam. And they were all ordering their whiskies, and they were ordering Glenmorangie. Just numerous ones I didn't have a clue about. And I was just wondering, what the hell are they ordering? Because I just don't know any of these names. And I just sat back, and the energy in the room, I mean, there was tables in the room that were joining in with the conversation about whiskey, and I'd never seen that before. It was complete strange.
Your story is really good, because obviously I wasn't on that holiday. It was a lads' holiday, and I remember you coming home saying we talked about whiskey all night, like, and it was just proper whiskey, not like the whiskey we know. And I remember your energy from that evening, like, really, like, sparked a little something.
And that story was the catalyst to start off for us to be here now. But why do I have to say it's so boring? I'm trying to get people interested in the channel, and like,
because you don't know what you're doing.
Horrendous.
It's like in my head I can hear that SpongeBob meme that goes 2 hours later.
Like, why? I mean, why is the channel doing as well as it is really after that?
And to be fair, you couldn't have edited that.
No, you can't edit fun, can you?
A compliment.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, don't get used to it.
We were miles away from home in like this countryside pub, and all the different tables were joining in with this conversation, and I just sat back and I saw.
You sat back because you were the only one who didn't know what whiskey was.
A connection through whiskey, and I thought, I'm going to learn more about this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try and do something to expand my knowledge, and I'm going to learn what this Glenmorangie is, because that seemed to be the one that everyone was stuck on. It was Glenmorangie this, Glenmorangie that. Do any of you guys have any experience with Glenmorangie?
Even that in itself,
isn't it Glenmorangie?
No, it's like,
I'm always open to that. That's how this all started. So if you've got any recommendations, it's
sorry to keep pausing it, but this is the point. But I feel like I'm so innocent.
Yeah.
In it, it's so like
you're not YouTube savvy.
No, I mean like just in the whiskey kind of about asking if anyone's got any like thoughts on it and things like that. I mean it's I feel like it's a It is a younger version of me, but like it's
well, you don't. There, you didn't know then what you know now.
Yeah, let's carry on.
Greatly appreciated. So, I came back from the trip, and I thought, I want to try this Glenmorangie.
That's what you thought then.
So I bought a bottle. Actually, we'll just stop there. All things whiskey. Yes, try the Santa. It is amazing. It is.
All things whiskey. I was going to say, who's that? It's us. It's our daughter's boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
He promised he'd come in and.
In case there was no one else there.
In case no one else was in the chat, to just ask me some questions to keep it going, because he did have a channel.
Did you actually set that up?
No, I didn't set it up, but he said he had a channel at the time. He was doing photography, wasn't he? Yeah. Whiskey photography, and he obviously wanted to support me because he's my daughter's soon-to-be husband, and. I forgot who it was for a minute.
I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
My top whiskies at the moment. I've got it up there at the back.
La Santa, that was.
Yeah,
we still like La Santa.
And you can't. It's amazing. Jay Chung, the Quinta Reuben. Is that nice? Because I've questioned whether to get that one or not. Is it?
That's on our list to get now.
Is it like a sweet
cherry
cast?
Yeah. Last time we went.
Is it something else? If you can expand on what.
So I love that I can have that conversation. I know that's on our list.
Yeah.
Nice. Would you say it was nicer than the La Santa, in your opinion, or La Santa still got the edge on it?
It's more expensive than La Santa and all.
I just go for I'm a strange one because I'll swing from port to peat. Is that like a strange? I can go like the sweetest whiskies in the world.
It is, but if you
straight to like a Lafroig,
but if you look at the bar, there aren't many peat. If any,
I think there's a Lafroig at the back.
Yeah,
maybe,
so it's like.
Whereas now you'd be peat, and I might swing to a sherry.
And I think there is an element of me here trying to sound like I know more than I do at the time.
That's really honest of you.
Yeah, I think it.
And you'd probably dabbled in peat, but not to the extent you are now. I think you probably, and I know you would really want to like it. Is the Ardbeg there? Because remember we bought the Ardbeg really early. It must be.
That was at Christmas, wasn't it? So I would imagine.
Yeah. I've just noticed there's a Johnny Walker Black Label on the bar as well.
So let's go.
I'm enjoying that just as much. There's kind of no real. I've got a lot of middle ground, but I tend to go from one extreme to the other. So it's hard to get a gauge of what I really do like on a regular basis. That's why I've got so many, because I'm always seem to be chasing after that next unicorn whiskey, if you know what I mean.
So that's still you.
Yeah.
What would you say, Jay? What would you say your favourite peated port cask was? I don't think I've done it. I think I know one of those. What would you say it was? All right. Kilcoman port.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Look,
you can see on my face.
And then you got the Brenriach peated port finish.
You have no idea what those are, do you?
No
you don't even know if you're pronouncing them right.
I've seen on the shelves very often, but I should give them a try if I ever see them.
If I ever see them.
Because you might not see them in the supermarket.
Killer. Why is it killer? Is it just good cask makes, or is it a hard drink? I don't know. I like Lafroig. I had Ardbeg, but I had that very early on.
You had the Ardbeg.
Whiskey drinking
and I must have
phase.
If I'm talking about Lafroig, that would have been definitely after Ardbeg, because Ardbeg was a Christmas one.
Quite early, wasn't it?
So I must have started to get into the peat quite quickly, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was a bit too much for me, and now some years later, I'm down to Lafroig, and I'm loving that. But I'm always wanting more.
Some years later, I've gone from Ardbeg to Lafroig.
Some years later, like weeks maybe.
And now, some months later, you're on Octomore.
Yeah, but I'd only been drinking whiskey properly for about 3 months when I did this. So how it went to years, I'll never know.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always looking at Octomore.
See, you did do that.
£130, and it just makes me not want it.
Yeah,
but clearly you did.
At that time, though, it was like, what was probably the most expensive one? Is the Signet up there?
Yeah,
I think it is, isn't it? But that was like it was like the top of the pinnacle on like the pedestal of whiskies, and it hadn't been opened, and it wasn't open for actually 12 months, was it?
But going back to the story, when I was sat
because there's more,
everyone's like,
talk and kind of reminisce about whiskies I'd had. It was a round table, and everybody had kind of gathered around it. So
on your editing, you might have to fast forward this bit.
It's what I want this channel to be. It's a round table for everyone to sit around, get together.
Yeah, but I like your thoughts.
Out on the table.
The metaphor's quite good.
Share, experience different things, share different things, share drinks, and just be as one. And that's kind of where I want this channel to go.
But I'm talking like no one else has ever thought of that.
I know, but I quite like
your...
You
know what I mean? It's like I didn't think there was a community at all before kind of we came along without realising it.
But I don't think we knew...
No.
Maybe when we weren't part of communities as such, so you didn't know who Ear Whiskey was, well, Castmates was.
Yeah, but we stumbled into... At this point, we didn't know that the community was
what it was
to the extent of what 100%. It is, did we? We just thought that... I suppose we thought we'd be on the fringe of it, because you always feel so kind of disconnected from something before you kind of...
And I don't think we knew what like whiskey clubs were and like, you know, those
cold existed.
So we were never aiming to be part of that, because we genuinely thought, well, you genuinely thought you'd be on your own, because I wasn't even part of it at this point.
I genuinely thought that there was two things when it came to whiskey: people who drank whiskey and people who did YouTube about whiskey. I didn't realise there was groups that met, that there was clubs. I mean, it's my ignorance, but the clubs, then the festivals that you can go to, the just even to the point where people are flying abroad to go to festivals, and samples, there's that dedication.
We had no idea samples were a thing.
Don't get me started.
And not just samples, but samples and gifts and merchandise and Glencairn glasses. We didn't really this true story, we were bought some Glencairn glasses one Christmas as a really lovely gift, and I knew they were expensive, you know, they were in a beautiful box. And it was just like, lovely, that's really nice.
What are they?
No idea what I'm going to use them for. However, then obviously 12 months later, probably not 12 months later, but then suddenly you go, oh my God, I've actually got, they were in a gift box. I'm talking blue satin, you know, like a proper fancy Christmas present. You know, and then I remember the first time I noticed that when you put your glass down, you can read the Glencairn at the bottom. And I was like, oh, look at this!
They're just fancy glasses, weren't they? That were this strange...
it was a funny shape.
Yeah, tulip
Why would you have that shape? It was just...
Because we didn't drink drams, did we? It was more just old-fashions. And like you said before, it's like... We came from a cocktail, whiskey cocktail background. That was our kind of way in.
And I needed cocktails because I couldn't drink a dram. Like I tried, and
really, it was drinking a dram. Was even when I talk about the Glenmorangie and things like that they were all into cocktails. None of them were drams.
Occasionally, I think you might sip one or sniff it.
I think I had one at the end of a night to try and feel fancy, because that's what I thought you should do, but I wasn't fully invested in it.
And you didn't enjoy it? Not like now.
Let's carry on.
I'll be truthful with you. I recorded a video today that I was going to post on Wednesday, and I actually deleted it before I came on here because it was just too serious. I want it to be fun. I want it to attract new whiskey drinkers who need that little push to go beyond the Jack Daniels that I was stuck on for many years.
Your message is so good.
And I want you guys to help me do that with them. So I'm going to start the channel off at a fairly basic level. It's going to be tongue-in-cheek. It's going to be fun. It's not going to take itself too serious.
That's okay.
I want it to be enjoyable. There's plenty of channels out there at the moment that...
Do you know what? I wish I could go back and look what that.
Do you know what I was going to say? I always wanted to say, can you imagine the bloopers reel you could do from that? Like, oh my days, that would be amazing.
What it was. I can't remember what my next video was. That would have been my first edited video.
I don't know. In my head, that just would have been like, brilliant.
Yeah,
but it was probably so horrific that you definitely deleted it.
Well, I definitely wasn't editing it with the software I use now.
Or your style.
So I think it was like iMovie or something. So it was very kind of like a basic editing
and probably
software.
jumpy, and you were trying to edit
Well,
every little
like
and
we
R
said,
out.
Yeah, so it would have been like
serious channels that you watch and you kind of get the information you need. But you know, if that's what you want, that's great. But this channel is going to be a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, a little
That's
bit more
fair
fun.
comment.
Still working on
is.
it, because like I said, I did go down a certain path, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be the way I'm going to go. I just didn't like it. So I'm going to redo it and come at it from another angle. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Another question I've had is, why call it a whiskey lifestyle channel? I don't know if you'll have seen it yet, but on my actual...
I don't remember ever getting asked that question, to be honest.
And I don't ever remember putting that anywhere in anything. Whiskey lifestyle. Lifestyle as in you record the videos in our home bar, maybe, and sometimes you hear the dogs barking.
Yeah, this is a channel built off lies, fellas and ladies.
No, because I think you were being honest, as in I don't quite know what this is like, and whiskey lifestyle as in maybe you thought, you know, this is because we used to go out and drink cocktails. Maybe you were thinking I'll incorporate all that.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're keeping your options open.
I
think
100% knew.
No, and why would you?
Direction, and like I've said,
and
I
you wouldn't,
deleted
would you?
my first video, so obviously what I thought I wanted to do wasn't what after editing the video wasn't. I realised it wasn't
Don't
what
you
I
think
wanted.
You have to start at the beginning, and you have to do the not so great ones, or the innocent ones, or the inexperienced ones to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
You just do, don't you?
I think it's just baby steps.
You're never going to do video number 60 without doing video number 1.
No.
As cliche as that is, like they are edited so differently and different style, and we hope that people, you know, see a thumbnail and know it's us. Even if you didn't have our pictures in, you would know it was our
even
style
if you
of
use
video.
it as a guide as to what you don't want. Yeah, perhaps that's something to.
Actual beginning and end of the videos I'm going to post, it will say a lifestyle channel underneath.
Which it doesn't.
Never has. I don't
Ever.
think.
Underneath the sign. And that is going to come down to the fact that it's not just me who's doing this. It's going to be a group.
Yeah, because it wasn't me.
People.
I was nowhere to be seen here.
My wife wants to get involved.
Oh, maybe I had. Maybe we'd had a
Whiskey
conversation.
drinker. She started off on like whiskey cocktails and things like that, and now she's evolved into drinking drams.
I don't think I had at this point.
I don't know, because maybe that.
I think I tried to.
Maybe our time frame's off a little bit with respect to I'd obviously recorded a video before this. I always, from my memory, this was the first video I ever did.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm saying that I'd edited a video, I must have done one, and I'd probably been on it weeks, because you know what I'm like. So maybe you had seen me do it and thought, so yeah, maybe our timing's just off on where we were when we did this one.
Weekly with the drinks that she likes, so she wants to be involved. I have a friend who is on here at the moment, all things whiskey. He does whiskey photography, and he does his own couple of videos on Instagram. And I'm going to try and get him involved as well if he's.
And he's trying to get him with the father-in-law.
If you are all things whiskey.
And he never did get involved.
Because he stopped doing
Prestige
it.
liquid, yes, Andrew, it definitely is.
So at this point, there's 3 people in the chat, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's Andrew, Matt, and Jay Chung. Which I don't see Jay pop up much anymore. So he's either like doesn't do the YouTube thing anymore, or he just doesn't do the new Dram Drinker thing anymore.
I talked about this on the video. I deleted, and I'm going to go into a little.
That
bit
nobody's
now.
seen.
The community that has evolved in front of me, accepting me into it. All of you guys and more who aren't on here tonight. You've just been amazing. I cannot say a big enough thank you to all of you.
That's true. To be fair,
you've welcomed me in. You've given me advice. You've just. There's so much rubbish going on in the news, and if you're in the UK, it's just relentless at the moment. The
news flash
feeling of just it's restored my faith in humanity a little bit, that you're all so welcoming.
That stands true.
And like I said, I can't thank you more. Going back to Prestige, he has been an amazing welcome into the community.
I think that's fair to say.
I know he's new himself.
Core, lovely group.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew was one of the first people that I kind of connected with, because it all seemed to happen through Instagram and Twitter and things like that. So yeah, I mean, Andrew was my first connection.
You, Andrew, and Matt, I just think had this core.
Yeah.
And I think you like really like boosted each other, like supported each other's channels and ventures and stuff. That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got our own stuff going on that we need, that daily life kind of thing that gets in the way sometimes. So we've still got that friendship. We still connect with each other.
And Andrew's recently done tasting notes for us.
Yeah,
and stuff,
I mean,
so
we're still very much friends, and we've all got channels that are doing well.
Yeah, and completely differently, which is lovely, isn't it?
They've all evolved as well into different things. So it's all good.
Videos I have, obviously, and a few more followers than me, but he's just opened his arms and welcomed me in. And No Nonsense Whiskey is not on tonight. I know he's travelling. I think he was at Islebeg earlier on today, so he's probably.
So you'd already connected with Vin?
He's offered his help as well. I'm a little bit strange when it comes to people offering help.
Do you think that was a name drop then? Do you think I was
okay, maybe. I didn't see that, but I hear what you're saying.
I think it was. I have to be truthful. I think I was like trying to name drop to legitimise myself.
If he'd offered his help, which is very Vin, because he still does.
Yeah, he still does now.
Yeah, like that was probably legit.
Yeah, I'm not. I think. Yeah,
maybe you only knew 4 people.
I did. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're trying to find your way in YouTube, and it's quite a. It's quite a deep well.
And you've got to remember that these people don't live in the UK. Not all of them don't live in the UK. Yeah. So it is like a huge, vast.
But that was one of the main things that contacting Vin, because he does. He's up the road. He's like, he was someone who, if I needed to talk one-on-one with, I could. And don't get me wrong, it took probably 6 months to even do that.
Yeah.
But once you kind of get into YouTube, you realise just how much more there is that you need to learn. And no, it's not just about editing and kind of picking your topics for your videos. There's so much other stuff, like analytics and even I still don't know all of it. I still kind of go to Vin and ask him advice and kind of, should I be doing this, should I be doing that?
And he's great.
And he's great, and he's never once ever made me feel like I've bothered him for asking him information. That goes for everybody really. No one's ever made me feel like I've pestered them or just took up their time without them wanting to. So let's carry on.
Because I feel like I don't want to put them out. I know they've offered, but I feel like once you start asking, I start to feel a little bit awkward about it. So I think I will go my own way and just interrupt that. Jay, thank you for staying as long as you did.
Jay's had
I appreciate it.
And that was the end
keep
of
your
Jay.
And
11
you'll see
minutes
some exciting content.
You did well, to be honest.
That hopefully put a smile on your face as well. Thank you for all your comments. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. See you soon. For those of you that are left, like I said, we've got a few different ideas about the channel. I've got, I think, are we going to call it Whiskey Chit Chat? Me and my wife, or whoever it is, of that week. They're going to sit down on the chairs. You can't see them there, but I've got like a couple of chairs to the side of me that they're going to sit down.
We never did it in the bar.
Relaxed atmosphere, and just put 2 whiskies up against each other. We choose one each in the same category, and we just have a little bit of a drink off, if you like. You can see me go up against my wife or whoever it is at the time.
I like how you're
fight our corners for which one is the best.
I like how you're my wife, not Nicky, or you're not like, I don't know. It's weird to talk about you like people don't know you.
No, they don't, do they? They haven't even seen me at this point.
Strange to hear me say it like that, because I don't say it. It's just Nicky, isn't it? Now it's
okay. Okay, we've got some more new people. Jay Manton, not going to joke, he's my son. So
you've met Jay.
Yeah, you've met Jay. He's done a
appreciate it, Jay.
How to pronounce the distillery video.
There's more people on here than I to be honest. So I appreciate.
And that was the
on.
dog. They still do that now. You probably hear it
I was
in this video.
skip over that. I was just like, oh, that's
if
the
you
dog.
ever hear that noise in the background, and I always rub my eye when I'm like annoyed.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
So it's like, oh god,
that's the dog making a noise.
But yeah, we can't stop it. They just whiff.
Shake their heads and
groan or moan or something.
Snore. It's usually snoring.
Yeah, snoring. Some of them that I've masked with a bit of a louder music.
But if you want to get to bed, you can. You're gonna have to have a drink of water.
Water? Really? You're doing a whiskey video and you're drinking water?
I'm looking at it. I've got a dram on the go.
I was going to say.
What's everyone else drinking? Are you drinking?
It's the size of that dram. That was huge. That was the cheap stuff.
I'm drinking at the moment. It is
what was it?
Michter's American whiskey.
Michter's, not Michter's. That's a nice one, Michter's.
But it's very nice.
But it was huge. You see the size of it.
In due time. What I'm going to do with the channel is, like I said, it's going to start from a very beginner's point of view. I know there's a lot of you on here who are probably going to be beyond that level already. And it's not, the videos I do on YouTube might not necessarily be for you, but the live ones will be. They'll be a bit more fun, a little bit more of the further up the ladder kind of whiskies. So I appreciate if you watch the ones I do that are for more basic whiskey drinkers. But
just for the laugh.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a lot of different things in a lot of different ways.
I like your enthusiasm.
Twitter's up and running.
I like that you had this huge idea. You need that, and you're sifting all the time. And like some of your ideas are still really good, but obviously you funnel this path, don't you? And you don't know until you start something. You don't know what the next step is.
No.
So I'm not going to knock you for having a motivation and
I'm not sure I still know what the next step is.
Doesn't matter.
YouTube,
because it changes.
Obviously, this is the very first one, so we're up and running as we speak. And I've got lots of ideas. We've got lots of like days out planned where we're going to do some footage of when we're out. I'm actually off work the next 3 weeks, so I'm going to try and get a few different places
on my own.
There's a place called Hampton Manor, which is close to here, which got a nice whiskey collection, which is growing every day. I've got a place in Whiskey Freedom. That's another new one. I'll just pause there.
No.
Whiskey Freedom.
Hampton Manor. So it's like, how weird was that?
Yeah, that was the universe conspiring.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you for staying in, even though you're on holiday with the family. Where are you nice? Are you having a good time?
Watched you.
It's nice that you've took the time to do this, even though you're on holiday. I hope you're not getting into trouble for being on your phone or computer while you're meant to be bathing in the sun. So we got a lot of ideas. If you have any ideas yourselves, by all means, pass them on. Put them in the chat, put them in the comments, put them anywhere. Email me. You can email me on newdramdrinker@gmail.com. Whiskey Freedom. There you go. That's it. I knew the name. I just couldn't put who it was.
So you didn't even know. You talked about Hampton Manor.
I was talking about you.
And you didn't. And you didn't know it was Fraser.
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much. You said you were going to be here. Well, you said you were going to be here yesterday, but now you're here today. So I'd love to get down to see your bar. I know you were saying you were working on getting.
And we did do it. We did.
Yeah. People could just pop in to have a drink. Your ears were burning. Yeah, they should be, because I was bigging you up a little bit. It's selection. Like I said, I was saying I'm off for the next 3 weeks, so I'm going to be trying to get some footage from different places. There's a place in town called Bourne & Co, which I'm going to try and get to. Have a few there. Obviously, there's the Birmingham Whiskey Club. I'm going to try and get.
We weren't even members at that point.
Actually, I'm going to do a taste test of all of the Game of Thrones whiskies.
We did.
We did do that.
I'm going to do every single one of them and review back on.
That was a huge video series.
I say we, me and my wife.
We did.
I don't tend to do a lot of things on my own with regards to this. It's kind of with my wife, Nicky. She joins in, and like I said earlier on, she really enjoys it as much. And it's nice to be able to share it with someone and not do it on your own as well.
Sappy.
I'd love to get down to Hampton Manor. Like I say, get in touch with me if you can.
It was good because we did do
it.
We
did,
and we can
it was amazing.
It was a fabulous
get some
night.
footage, some pictures. It'd be great to see you. You've been. Yeah, the wilderness. I popped in there.
The wilderness.
James Berger is a wonk. I actually bought their Brexit blend this week. I don't know if you can see that there. That is.
And I've still got that one open.
We have not opened that one
and,
at all.
I haven't opened it yet. Being limited to only 100 bottles, I'm going to be a little bit reticent to open it, I think. Yeah. I'm just going to keep that one on the shelf for a while and probably do a special review at some point. And do you know James at all well, or is that just your opinion of him from what you've seen on YouTube and Instagram? Oh, that is a good drink. So come on, guys, what are you drinking? Have you got a drink on the go at the moment?
I'm watching that, and I just see I feel like I'm watching someone imitate someone on YouTube, a whiskey YouTube channel. Doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm saying the things that I feel like I should be saying because I've watched other people's lives, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In that respect.
But you've got to take it as that was 59 videos ago.
Yeah.
That's what you got to look at. It's like look at it just with the whole enthusiasm of a newbie.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know what you know now, and you hadn't drunk the whiskies that you've drunk now, and you haven't met the people that you've met now, and
you have to appreciate the fact that the people watching, the 3 people watching, are fully aware of that.
Fans and supporters,
that just is, it goes back to the community. It was a very small community as that video was going out.
But your core group there was the thing that kept us going.
And we've always said that, haven't we, about our core group of 100%. People who subscribe and watch our channel. Yeah. That we love that core group because it's a supportive core group.
Definitely.
And I know that, I don't think, like Vin has said in the past and other YouTubers, that once you kind of break out of that kind of core audience, that's when you can start getting the nastier messages,
negatives
and
stuff.
The comments can get.
So you were in a tiny little bubble at the moment, a very tiny bubble. But you were, and it was okay. And do you know what? You're not always going to be everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay because we're not for everybody. Yeah. Like you said early on, there are people that have far surpassed us. And they might watch us because they like us, or they like your style of editing, or it makes them laugh, or they might not watch us at all, and that's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Whiskey is so big that you can find your niche. You definitely
I would
can.
hope that, if anything, if you watch our channel and don't like it, it just pushes you on to look for a channel that you do like, and you find it, and it gives you what you need. Yeah. Because every channel's not the same. Every channel's, you might not like heavily edited ones that we do with all things popping up and stuff. It might wind you up. You might just want the facts.
Or you might want a really long, in-depth, hour long, hour and a half long video.
And we're never going to do that because that's not our style. Because there are so many channels out there that do that. So you don't need us to do that because we can't give you the knowledge that we haven't got, and we're not going to read it off a script that someone else has wrote that we've took from a website.
We are telling you what we taste. That's the whole point of our journey, isn't it? We're not going to get every note, every flavour that everybody else is, but that's us being authentic, isn't it?
And that's something that we found as we went, because we just realised that, I think that's probably what that first video was. It was probably me trying to be a channel that I was never going to be,
or talk about taste that you couldn't taste.
I remember
it's a huge
kind
journey.
of like,
what whiskey was it? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I remember I wrote myself a script out.
In my head it's going to be Glenmorangie because it was the first one, but I don't know.
I remember I'd wrote a script out and it was like 2 or 3 A4 pages, and unless I could spiel it out like, is it verbatim, then I stopped it and started again, and I thought I just can't do this because I'm never going to do it.
Because you're trying to learn something rather than actually experience it and talk about it.
It just wasn't natural. So it just
that.
didn't work for me. So I think I knew that, and I think probably even now when I was recording this video, I didn't really know where it was going to go.
But I love that you did that. I love that you deleted it because you knew right from the offset we were not going to be that kind of video that says, oh, the distillery webpage says this, or Masters of Malt says this, because that's not us at all.
I use those to like compare against our own notes
and learn. I love the learning, but I'm never going to say I can taste this if I can't, because I haven't got the gumption to back it up. Then and genuinely, we are far too authentic for that. If I can't get it, I'm going to say, well, I don't get that. But sometimes you do read a note and you go, oh yes.
And I must admit, I do prefer the series that we do now with the pouring it, drinking it, enjoying it with friends, because the notes that we're getting from real people are just so much more,
and they could be different or similar, or you might say, oh, it's like toffee, and somebody else might say, oh, it's like toffee apple. And I love that.
I feel like I'm learning something from someone who has genuinely
100%
nosed it and tasted it and give us their notes on it. I feel like I'm learning from them. I'm soaking in their knowledge. If I'm reading it off a website to compare against my own notes, I just feel like I'm kind of, that's what they want you to kind of get from it. I don't even know whether they actually truly believe what they're saying or not.
And I know now, obviously a year in, for example, we did a tweet tasting recently, and you all have the same whiskey. I said to you, didn't I? If I could write down everything that people are tasting in this whiskey, the list would be like 50 words, because everybody was, I mean, there were obviously some similarities, but somebody would say one thing and somebody else would say, there's always a few randoms.
Definitely.
So it's huge. And you've just got to get to that point where there's no right or wrong.
We didn't know that at the start.
No, not at all.
If we said
there's 6 things in this whiskey, and if you can't smell or taste all 6 of them, you are a failure. Definitely.
And everybody's notes would be the same.
Exactly the same. No.
It was really strange, wasn't it? Let's crack on.
Freedom. With that bar that you've got going on, you must have something you can have a drink of. I've seen that you've had some Blau Belair put into the stock, so it'd be nice to see that. Whiskey friend, thank you for stopping in.
Alan.
Alan.
You're only here for a couple of minutes, that's fine.
And Alan was a new channel at the time.
Alan, I think, was the first person who ever sent us samples.
Thank you so much.
I think a lot of people could say
have
that.
a good day, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for stopping. All things, but you're only on water. Not all things whiskey. Dan, come on. You can knock one. You can knock one back. You can have a little one. It's not going to cause you any trouble. So, Whiskey Freedom, you've met him a few times. He really knows his stuff. Yeah, I can imagine. Like I said, I am relatively new to whiskey. I've not been doing it as long as some, more than others. But my palate and nose probably aren't up to scratch compared to others. But that's why I want to come at it from the point of view of a beginner, because that's what I am in a way. I saw a lot of videos when I was first trying to, like I said, when I got back from that trip and I was looking into the Glenmorangie and all the whiskies that other people were talking about around that round table, you tend to get people who are reviewing them with a much better palate than I've got. So I went out and bought them, and they never tasted anything like what they were saying they were going to, just because, not because they're wrong, just because I can't taste it. Yeah. It was a bit disheartening, and I don't want to do that on my channel. I want to come at it from a realistic point of view of what you'll taste as a beginner.
So that's where I was wrong as well, because I was thinking that because I wasn't getting what they're saying you
were a failure.
That either I was a failure or... I don't know. It was like
the whiskey.
I obviously felt like that I'd been let down by the reviews because I wasn't getting what they're telling me that they're getting, and that's so far off the mark of how it should be, isn't it? That we know now it wasn't. It's just we're all different. You can't really. I think that's now why we base our judgment on what whiskies we buy kind of on what they are, like a ruby cask or a port cask or a peat,
or a 25-year-old.
We don't base it on someone else's review of it because we know that we might not get that.
Yeah.
They loved it. We've had ones, haven't we, where they've loved, we've disliked.
Yeah.
So you can only really go off what you know
what
of the whiskey and
if
if it fits the style of whiskey that you like. And sometimes they still don't, even though they say they, even though you would imagine it would be sweet, sometimes they're not. So it's, you just got to accept that.
Higher end whiskies, because I did it. I jumped into buying like Glenmorangie Signet, like probably my 5th whiskey, and I haven't opened it yet because I'm kind of too scared to, just in case it doesn't live up to this kind of level that I've put it up at. Has anyone had Signet on here, by the way? Because I'd love to hear what you think of it, and I hope you say it's good.
Did it live up to it?
No,
it's open
it wasn't an easy drink. I love a Glenmorangie, but I found it quite hard to drink.
It wasn't as pleasant as you thought it was.
I've had more pleasurable whiskies that have been cheaper. Yeah, different brands.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I haven't sat down with it enough yet.
No,
like you have.
And I've always said, I'm not saying it's a bad whiskey at all, because I wouldn't. It's just not my palate, and I think, it depends what you like or what you enjoy drinking. And if you enjoy a £40 whiskey, and that's the one you look forward to, and it ticks all the boxes for you, then you go for it. Because I have some really lovely whiskies that I go back to time after time after time.
Yeah. I've had awesome experiences with
very expensive.
Well, I was going to say cheap.
Yeah.
And expensive, but I wouldn't say either of the experiences outweighs the other one.
No.
Sometimes I can sit down with the nicest cheap whiskey, like that, the Compass Box, what's it called? The Artist Blend?
Artist Blend, the Glasgow Blend.
Glasgow
my new
Blend,
one.
yeah. And that is awesome, and it's like
beautiful.
35 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
there's too many variables for me. It depends where you are, who you're with. It depends where you're drinking that whiskey in the evening. That's my experience. It depends what mood you're in. It depends how many whiskies you've had. It depends what you're favouring at that moment.
And how you're feeling, what you've eaten.
Sweet one, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if somebody goes, oh, try this, it's lovely. Sometimes that's really nice as well.
Yeah, let's carry on. 10 minutes to go, Pete.
Yeah, Whiskey Freedom, you mentioned that you were a relative newbie. But you seem to be on the right path, honestly. From what I've spoke to you and you've said, you're picking all the right whiskies to put in
because he's got so much more knowledge
and stuff. So keep on going the way you're going. So I'm in the peaks with the family. Okay, bought some Glen Cadan Springbank. Springbank is one I haven't tried, I must admit. Have you bought that for yourself or for the bar? I'd love to know if you bought it for yourself, what it's like. And if you bought it for the bar, if you've tried it, what it's like. So I'm just looking forward to. This is really awkward, isn't it? Because I'm trying to talk to you and I'm trying to read the comments, and it's such a strange feeling because it doesn't
change, does it?
It seems so alien. Okay, my lad Jay is saying he had whiskey once and I couldn't hack it. Will this change because I want to get into it?
I think he's like,
yeah, it will.
That's my son. He's trying to just keep me going.
You've got the best chance in the world because you've got 50 plus whiskies right behind me that you control and everything.
Excuse me, can I just say as well? You've got 50 plus whiskies. Do you let him drink all of those?
He doesn't like whiskey.
I don't think so. You wouldn't say you can have anything you want.
No, but he doesn't like it anyway. I think it's anyone can have anything off the bar, but if I know that he's be having it for the sake of having it, and I know he's not going to enjoy it, then I don't feel like not that he should, but I'd rather give him a vodka or a gin or whatever he wants.
You've just got to take baby steps, and I'm your dad, but watch my videos because they will explain to you what you need.
Shameless plug.
And if you want
subscribe, I'm surprised I didn't say.
It's not that hard, honestly.
Click.
Okay, Springbank Whiskey Freedom.
Click the button.
Springbank 10 is glorious. £40 of deliciousness. Okay, can you just expand on that? What is deliciousness to you? Do you like sweet?
What is deliciousness to you?
A little bit dump on the Springbank, to be honest. It's not one. It's one that I've earmarked It's kind of in my Amazon basket, if you know what I mean. But I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. So it'd be nice to see to hear what it's like.
But you're asking
Jack
for
Hanley's
advice.
joined. What would you recommend to a complete whiskey newbie? You know what? I would probably say Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's very smooth.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me for saying smooth.
You even knew that.
Yeah, I knew that, yeah.
When it comes to whiskey, but personally, I think it's an okay phrase to use. If you're talking to people who just started, then smooth is a great word to use because it just, it's right. Irish whiskey is smooth. If I was to turn around now and I've got a few Irish whiskies, I would probably go in a Jameson's. I mean, you can go Jameson's, Tullamore Dew.
Redbreast.
Redbreast is probably a little bit sweet. If you really did like the sweetness of it, you could go for the Redbreast.
I think you got Bushmills below as well.
Spot at the back here, which is also very nice. And you've got Proper 12, which is probably, this might be controversial, on the same kind of level as Jameson's.
No,
but I would just start Jameson's, to be honest.
That's the level it was aiming at.
And have it in a cocktail. If you don't fancy having it on its own, which not everybody does, have it in a cocktail. We're going to do cocktails on the channel as well. Whiskey cocktails. We might even diverse into other alcohols as well, because you can be a bit restricted when you're doing cocktails with just whiskey. So we might do others. But I've got a lot of cocktails that I do here. This is actually, I will tell you that, this is actually called the Black Sheep Bar. It's got its own Instagram page and everything.
It doesn't anymore.
And this is where we do all the cocktails.
Yeah. You still make cocktails.
I'm going to do a few cocktails as we go as well. So we will see how that goes. And if you like that, we'll do more. Springbank 10 is a bit of an all-rounder. Light peat, oily, some sweetness and a bit briny. Wow, well, that sounds interesting. I would imagine that would what you would class as complex in the whiskey world.
Complex.
I bet you didn't even know what a briny whiskey tasted like.
You always drink your whiskey as you want to. I don't care whether I give you my most expensive whiskey in the bar. If you want to have it with a Coke, have it with a Coke.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
As soon as I offer you a drink.
Yeah. Expensive whiskey in the bar is not going to be put in Coke, because if somebody wants whiskey with Coke, you would give them a middle of the road.
No, what I'm saying there is, I think that if you own a bottle of expensive whiskey and you want to have Coke with it, you can. It's just that
you absolutely drink whiskey with Coke if you want, but we wouldn't give you an expensive whiskey to have with Coke.
No, but I'm saying that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with drinking whiskey with Coke at all.
But we've got whiskies that we buy that are specifically for mixing.
Yeah.
So, but that's only something that we kind of do because we have a lot of people over and they aren't massive whiskey drinkers. So if they want to drink like ginger ale and whiskey, there's no, you can have just an equally nice whiskey cocktail with a cheap whiskey. You don't need to kind of go crazy with it. So it's a waste of money really, unless I like to have like a Scotch Boulevardier with a peaty whiskey in there,
a middle of the road one.
But the stronger is better with that, and the stronger does tend to sometimes equate to a bit more money, but than your average kind of price. But Ardbegg's good. You can put an Ardbeg in, it's wicked. Drinking, you have that drink, you can add to it whatever you want. I'm not going to look down on you for it. No. It's entirely up to you. I'd rather you drank it with Coke than leave it on the side and not drink it. Agreed.
Just enjoy it. It doesn't matter at all. There's a bit of snobbery about whether you put ice, whether you should put Coke. If you want to put ice and Coke in your...
That's where our mantra came from.
Lefroy, your Signet, your Balblair. Do it. Drink it. Enjoy it. That's a phrase that we've got on this channel that we're going to kind of push, and it's called pour it, drink it, enjoy it. 3 simple steps.
Huge now.
That's all you need to do.
It's got its own hashtag.
Prestige. Cucumber whiskey. Has everybody seen his live video where he tries an Ardbeg and gets a cucumber taste?
Never had cucumber from Ardbeg.
It's quite comical. But if you're tasting that, then fair play. I mean, who am I to say that you're not tasting it? It's just one of those, isn't it? If it's in there for you, it's in there for you. I wish I could taste some things as diverse as cucumber in some of the whiskies I have. And sometimes all I can taste is alcohol, to be honest. But that's just the way whiskey is.
Spirit.
I wouldn't say that's the case now.
Spirit.
Would you? I don't really have any whiskies, and I just get alcohol.
No. There's some whiskies where there's more spirit than others.
Yeah. Do you know what we need to do? We need to go back to our first videos and redo the taste of it and see how much it's evolved. Because that's kind of telling me just how limited at the time I was that I could just get alcohol off some of them.
Yeah.
That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Good about whiskey, isn't it, that we can all try it the same. We could all have a shot of exactly the same whiskey now, and I will taste a hell of a lot different to you. So
I don't think you taste a hell of a lot.
Whiskey freedom is off. Thank you for the welcome. I will enjoy the ride, and let me know when you're around, and I will definitely pop down and see you. 100%. I will welcome the invite. Castmate, again, thank you for popping in. It's been a pleasure having you. We'll do another one soon. Might be a whiskey chit chat, a bit more fun with the wife. You can say hello to her as well.
I don't remember being invited in the whiskey chit chats for ages.
Okay, so we've been going for about half an hour now. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. To be honest, guys, this has been far, far better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd start it up and there'd be me and maybe my son. I kind of thought Prestige Liquids would be here just because he's been so supportive, so it was nice to see him pop up. Even though I know he's driving and he can't comment a lot, I appreciate you being here either way, mate. It's I can't say more. Just one thing before I do sign off. One good thing that happened today, other than doing this, was I finished my infinity bottle, and I've bottled it up into little bottles.
50.1.
It's called the 5001. Well, it's called the 501. It stands for 50 whiskies, and it's my first infinity bottle. And what I'm going to do, these ones that I've done here are all for family and friends. I'm going to do a couple, 2 to be precise, special YouTube ones.
Generous.
And if I'm ever about any events or whiskey tastings or anything like that, you recognise me, this ugly mug from the videos that I do, come up to me, introduce yourself, and if you're one of the first 2 that do that, I will give you one of my infinity bottles. There's 50 ml in there, and I must admit I tried it today and it is fantastic.
It was good. I remember the first one being really good.
Sweet.
But I think I carried those bottles around for about 6 months.
No, it wasn't quite that long. Yeah. I love the fact that we're actually now on 50.3. It's like we haven't finished 50.2 completely.
Yeah, we've given some samples out.
Yeah.
We're on to 50.3.
Complex. It lasts long. It's oily. I'll tell you what, honestly, I've been filling this litre bottle up for ages. Like I say, there's 50 different whiskies in there, and I was thinking if this tastes like crap when I've finished, then I'm going to be very disappointed. But thank God it tastes amazing, and that's why I wanted to share it anyway. But it's that nice, I want to share it more, so I'm going to push it out further than just family and friends, and I'm going to give it to the first 2 people who introduce themselves to me while I'm out and about at different events. Obviously, I'm in Birmingham, Solihull, around that area. So if you're around, you're in the Birmingham Whisky Club, you could see me in there. You're in Bourne and Cow, walking around town, walking around Solihull, introduce yourself, and hopefully if I've got one on me, I will give it to you there. If I haven't got it on me, I'll get your address and I'll post it to you. On that note, I want to thank you again. I know Prestige, it's early in the morning for you, so you've got your day ahead of you. And to everybody else, if you're not in the UK, enjoy whatever time it is.
Say it?
All things whiskey.
Do you say it for the first time ever?
I don't know.
And I hope you enjoy your little glass of 501.
You can remember.
And I will catch up with you again soon. Like I said, it might take me a little longer to do a proper video on YouTube because I'm just struggling with finding the right tone with it. So I'll maybe do a few more of these live ones in the meantime until I can kind of get my head around it. Thank you again. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you so much. Honestly, guys, I cannot thank you.
You're not going to say it.
Love you all. Cheers. Bye.
Oh, you didn't say it.
Say it, man. The whole thing. Pour it, drink it, bloody enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. That you were so naive. You were such a baby.
I think it was.
But your essence, your values, and what you wanted for the channel were absolutely on the money right from the beginning.
I think the feel of the video of the chat was very similar to how we still are. It's very kind of
lighting's better now.
We are. We are what we are, and we're new to it, and we still are. I mean, a few people have been saying to us recently that what happens when we're not new dram drinkers anymore. Yeah. And I think that is so far away. When aren't you a new dram drinker anymore? Is it 12 months? Is it 2 years? Is it 4 years? Is it 10 years? If you're always learning something about
we
whiskey,
still feel like there are so many whiskies, and not just whiskies we haven't experienced, but whiskey types. And like, I still don't know the standard answers for everything. I couldn't do a blind tasting and go, oh yes, that's a Balvenie.
But you could have been drinking whiskey for 20 years and you have a whiskey you've never had. In that moment, you're a new dram drinker.
And so I think our channel is always going to be aimed at new dram drinkers, so we're trying to educate new people. So even if we do move on, we're still like, we remember what that's like, and it was really hard.
And we're a year into our videos, and we've just done our first festival.
So we're still new.
It might not be new dram drinkers eventually that with the whiskey side of it, but there might always be elements of the whiskey kind
100%.
Of thing that we've not done.
And there's always going to be something we can share with our viewers.
So that's that. We're going to do Nicola's next, which I think was I
don't even know which one it is. I genuinely can't remember my first video. Was it? Okay.
Yeah, 10.
So who knows? Let's see. I think I need to go and get us another drink.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do it now, but we're doing it next. But this, we hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a different concept again. You know, we keep on trying to do different things just to keep you interested. We
wanted to celebrate our first year.
Yeah, and if you've never watched that video before, you have now, and you'll probably never want to watch it again, like I don't want to. So we thank you for watching, and I am going to say it this time.
My glass is empty, which is just such a thing at the moment.
Pour it, drink it, enjoy it. Thank you for joining us on our birthday video, or the first of two of our birthday videos, and we will see you again soon.